Welcome to the Trade Lounge. Today was another no trade day on my journey to 100K, where I try to take this small account to $100,000 as a rookie day trader. I started this journey back in December. Here we are 7-8 months later. Not a lot to show for it as far as how much money I've made, but learning, growing. The account is still green overall, which I'm grateful for. And now I'm slowing it down, just kind of learning as we go here. So today was a crazy day. I have just not been really digging these continuation moves, but I've been dealing with some DMs today and a few other things. But basically, like, if I want to become a great trader one day, I'm going to have to figure out how to trade these things. So I'm going to go over these. But a couple things I was looking at today. But the reality is, like, I'm not seeing my setup that I'm visualizing in my head. And I mean, they came today, like new news, breaking news stocks came today, and I was watching them, but they never had the setup that I wanted, or the momentum came later, like an hour after the news, and just these continuation style of plays have just been really difficult for me to navigate and learn, and yeah, I don't know, we'll get into it, but it's been something for sure. So let's here's the scanner I'm using. I don't know how well this is going to be able to be seen. I'm going to try it just with this kind of look. I've got it'll look a little bit different. This is from Charts Watcher, great scanner. I'm doing this video a little bit later than normal. It's 6:40 p.m. my time, but right after trading today, I had some family time. Literally right when I was done with the trading day. Didn't have time to really do my journal. Got out, just got home, walked in the door maybe 10 minutes ago, and now we're lighting up this video. So happy to be here doing this after my long drive today home from family time. So Charts Watcher, it's fully customizable. That's why you see all these kind of colors here. This might look like a lot to some folks right now, but like really the way that I'm setting up the scanner right now with the help of a buddy is very similar to how I've been doing it. I just changed some colors around. So if you've ever looked at Zendu, you'll notice that like Zendu on YouTube, if the whole row is green, that's like a positive thing. So that's kind of how this scanner was built, where if the whole row is like a dark green, then like it's something that I want to be kind of looking at. And it doesn't always line up that way, obviously. But same thing with the alerts in here. I won't really be able to see them now. But my running up scanner and my small cap high ideal momentum scanner is very, very similar in that regard. If it's all green, obviously purple is good too, but for the most part, like I'm looking for green in these first four like categories. So the stock, the first stock was FGI, and I really did. There we go. Really did think about trading the stock. You'll see I left my lines on here just so I could, for a reason. But right here at 7 a.m., so this is where you see all this volume kick in, and this is 7 a.m. right here. So just before this is 6:57. This stock, this had earnings news. I forget what time it was this morning. Was it yesterday? To 8:13 at 10:47 later on in the morning. So this was actually, this was continuation from yesterday. So this was a continuation play. Like if you look back, you can see it had a little something yesterday, and it was AH. It was AH. It was nothing crazy, but it was certainly on the list this morning as something to kind of watch, and it ran up a little bit here on low volume, then kind of hung around VWAP. Another candidate for like a continuation VWAP trade or something. It's what we're definitely seeing. So I'm watching this, and I see this happen, and I see this little pullback right here, whatever we want to call this, but I can't trade it. I can't trade on this account until 7 a.m., So here's 7 a.m. right here. So it'd be this candle right here. This candle right there, 7 a.m. So as I'm watching this, I can't trade it here. I marked off this line, can't, because I'm looking at this like pivot basically. Can't trade it there for that 1 minute candle to make a new high. It goes down there. Can't trade it here. I marked off $7 as some kind of resistance from a daily or something. Can't remember exactly what it was for. So right at 7 o'clock, it opens, and this candle goes red. So this is all red. It basically looks, kind of like what you'd see here. It was just all red. So I'm like, this isn't going to work. Basically, we're going to have like this double top right here, and it's going to die right down. And then it proceeds to go. And this would have been a pretty good move. I thought about taking it. I'm just not great at continuation. I didn't feel comfortable with it. And it's just what it is right now. But you take this 1 minute candle over high right here, and I'm not going to show you the 10-second chart, but it's pretty clean all the way up. I mean, this goes from $7 up to $7.80 or basically $8 at that point. That's a $1 move right there to start the day. And I was like, man, that's a move that I wish I would have taken just right off the bat. Like, continuation's been a thing. This looks strong. This is technically, like, we have a little pullback here, a little pullback there. If you were looking on 10-second chart, a little pullback there, a little pullback there, a little pullback here, big pullback here, but it crossed right over right here and went up $1. So that was one that I was a little frustrated by that I missed. And then it also, I mean, this was the one that everybody kind of had their eyes on first for most of the morning. And it just got to a point where I wasn't comfortable trading it and in most of the areas. I did take a trade on it in the sim somewhere. I forget exactly where it was. I think it was in this zone right here as it was like coming back up here to kind of test like when I would normally take it. I don't remember where it was, but it didn't work. Because that's why I did it in the sim, because I kind of had a feeling it wasn't going to work. So we'll talk about like continuation trades in a bit, but there was opportunities to make money here for sure on the stock the rest of the day, and I didn't do it. I just struggled with the stock the rest of the day, and then we had YXT hit the scanner, YXT, and this one was, while I don't think it had news today, did it? It did. It was earnings news this morning at 9:27, which was nothing to do with this. Oh, no. Yeah, 7 o'clock. So at 7 o'clock this morning, right here, in this zone, I mean, when was 7? So this is 7 o'clock. It has news. Maybe I should put my big scanner window back up because you guys aren't going to be able to see this news. So I'll change this in my next video to where when I go to the scanner, I think I'll make it like the normal size. I mean, I guess I could change it real quick. Let's just do that. Let's just take this, and then let's do this on the fly in the recording. Let's do this. One sec, guys. Let me just change this. Where are you? Come on. Oh, it's not that one. It's over here. Okay, that's fine. There. Let's make sure these are all the right size. Make this big. Bring it over. Yes. Take this screen off. Okay, now we have the scanner screen. I have to make this look a little more beautiful later on. But so the news on this was right here. XYT reports unaudited financial results for the first 6 months of 2006. Unaudited financial results on a Chinese stock. Here we go. So, okay. So I'm watching this, and here's what we got going on. What time was this? It was like 7. What did I write down for this? Earnings. Yeah, earnings. So I was watching this the entire time. This is where I thought about taking a trade right here. So as this initial volume kind of creeps in right here, it dives down, and then you have this first 1 minute candle to make a high right here. I just thought that the move had came down further than what I wanted. But really, this first 1 minute candle make a new high. You're looking at $5.60 or so, and it goes up to $6. And then obviously on the way up here, there was multiple opportunities to kind of trade this if you wanted to. I marked off a couple of resistance lines and support lines from the dailies or whatever it was before, and it just surpassed all those, no problem. But I don't know. I didn't trade it because continuation. So the one thing that bothers me about some of this stuff, and listen to me, look, I'm learning continuation. So I'm recording all these trades. I go back and I study them. I want to take the trades. I know that in order to be a great trader, I have to figure out how to trade continuation off of no news. I get it, especially right now in the market we're in today. I will figure this out. And I took a lot of mental trades in my head. I marked off lines on where I would trade, a few different things, kind of on what I would do. And I didn't take the trades, but I wanted to take them, And so it's like I don't know. I'm working on it. And I want to be able to do it. I want to make it a setup that I can trade. I want to have that as part of my toolkit, especially during a slow season and all we're seeing is continuation moves all the time. I got to be able to figure this out. Right? So this had news at, what time was it? It was like 7 o'clock. So the news was back over here, but then the run didn't happen till later, And it's because everybody's eyes were on there was a penny stock and then FGI and a few other things. But I don't know. I watched it, didn't take a trade on it. It's unfortunate. And then EDBL, which I think, I don't remember why I wrote this down. Oh, yeah. So this was one, I think this is on the 10-second chart. Let me pull this up. I've traded this before and I have done okay on this stock. One sec. But so I was just watching it. It hit my scanner. Let's see, the volume was actually okay, but we just had topping tail. This is like this doesn't look good. But I was waiting. For something to pop over like $2. And I think, was this the one on the 10-second chart that I almost took a trade? Yeah. Was it here? It wasn't here. I'll find that stock. I think I got it written down. Yeah, I just didn't see anything in here. I mean, there was obviously opportunity here. I mean, there's a great opportunity right here to take a trade, but these aren't trades that are part of my setups. This isn't a candle over candle high after a pullback. This thing had pulled back pretty much. I mean, I guess technically it's not, but I guess this is a 10-second chart. I mean, there could have definitely been some moves here, but when I look at the 1-minute chart, which is what I've been trying to kind of trade more off of, sorry about my tool here, I just didn't see anything here that made any sense to me. I think this was a good no trade, to be honest with you, now that I'm seeing that. And then we're going to get to, well, let's just do it now. XHG. So this stock this morning started at, I don't know, what's the low? 87 cents, it looks like. So it started off as a penny stock. And then, can you actually see this on a 10-second chart a little bit better? I bet you can. Right here. Yeah. Okay. And I actually think it's going to show 10 seconds. I think it happened in like 2 seconds. So this is a 10-second chart. We'll expand. We'll go like this, and we'll hit auto. So this is a 10-second chart. It starts out at like 80 cents or whatever it was. It starts climbing up, and then right in here it starts to curl with pretty good volume. And then it's at like double top here on the 10-second chart at 170. And then the next candle goes from basically 163 up to $18. This is a 10-second candle. This only happened in like 2 seconds or 3 seconds, I think what it was, if you look at 1-second candles. But this didn't happen in 10 seconds. This happened in the snap of your fingers. If you were in before, like if you were in this move in here doing some kind of play and you were already in, you made bank right there. Now, I wasn't in this because here's the deal. I have, and I looked at, so I'm working on this scanner right here, and I ran a back test on the stock on this scanner and my other scanners I've used, like a few other different scanners I've used. Nothing that I have set up would catch that stock because I have set everything for a lower float, except for my top gainers. And this is a change I might make. Like I'm gonna make it a little. I am gonna make a change, but so basically you can see that stock is sitting right here on this top gainers list. The top gainers list has no regard for float. I think I forget exactly how high it is, but it's pretty high. Because I want to see anything that's climbing the market, right? And I'll show you how this back test works actually. Let's just do this real quick. So I'll show you on the top gainers because that's where you'll see it. And let's just see what it did. Let's just see what this stock did. So this is 836. Let's do let me reset the chart. I'll show you guys what I'm doing. So we're going to reset the chart here to I want to see, let's go to a 1-minute chart just to make it a little easier for me to determine where it was. So we'll go to let's go to 830 and we'll push it to, because people traded this. I didn't trade this and I wish I would have, but again, I'm not used to this kind of thing. I didn't feel comfortable trading this afterwards. So people traded this in this range and made money, but it was high flow. I don't know, man. I'm still new to seeing this. I've seen this happen like maybe 3 times, but like it happens, and then you have this red candle, green candle. First one candle to make a new high goes from, what is that? That goes from $2.50 up to $4. Then the next candle goes up to $6. I mean, I'm going to be looking for that, when this happens again. I was just more shocked on like that this happened and I didn't see it. And I was trying to figure out how come I didn't see it versus staying in the trade. But I don't think I would have traded it because it was at 46 million float, which is higher than what I like to do. Anyway, so let's do a back test real quick. 832, we'll go 830, have to 830 to 845. So let's go to the scanners. And we'll go here. I don't know how this is going to look because of how I have this thing going. Back test. Let's see, this tip. Oh, it usually takes a second to pull up. So then we'll go to the, where was it? High day momentum. Oh, it can't be, you can't do it for, you can only do this, you can't do it for that, actually. That's unfortunate. Okay, never mind. You can't run it on those top gainers, which actually, now that I think about it, kind of makes sense. I can run it on here. Like if I was to make a change, which I'm going to make a change tomorrow to make sure I can capture these stocks in the future. And that's the point I was trying to get to. I saw it showed up here, but I didn't get it on any of my like alerts over here because the float was too high. That's why I didn't see it. And that's just, that's just, I guess, how it goes. So I didn't trade it. And then we had, this is the one I wanted to make. So this was one, did it have news today? I think it did. Yeah, right. But again, let me go here. Let me switch to the scanner so you guys can see. It had news, today, but it was, what is happening? What's happening here? One sec here. Okay, I have a couple changes I need to make to this, but it is what it is right now. The news was here. So the earnings reports for a Canadian stock, basically. And let's take a look at this. Actually, what I want to do is a little out of place. That's why these screens aren't working the way that I want. Let me focus. Let me focus in here. This would be main. I think this was the one that I wanted to show you guys on the 10-second chart. Where are you? Yeah. Oh, did I change the size in this? Is that what I did? One sec, guys. Hold on. I think I did, and I can't remember how to. Oh, it's right here. Yep. Okay. There we go. Okay. Looking good. Here we go. And I think this is the one on the 10-second chart that I almost took a trade on really early. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this stock pops up at 7:29 with news. So is that right? Okay. It's so weird how these stocks work. Like I'm looking at this now and I'm like, well, so this is the same thing. It's basically continuation. I view it as continuation. So if the news comes out and then all of a sudden the volume comes in an hour later, I'm like, okay, well, that's just, to me, it feels like continuation. Anyway, so around 9 o'clock this morning, this stock starts making a move. And this is the 10-second chart, and I was watching it. And I actually liked the volume. My scanner was picking this up really nice. I liked the volume profile. And this is one of those ones where I'm like, if I can get in here and make this move, like if it goes over 170, I'm in. This on a 10-second candle, kind of candle over candle high setup. It opens, it shoots from we'll call it 175, just over $2, makes a 25-cent move right there on good volume, mind you. 244K on a 10-second candle. That's pretty good volume. And then it starts to come back down. And so I missed that. I wanted it, and I missed it, just because I just was unsure this morning. Again, continuation. And I'll show you where I thought about taking a trade on this. Yeah, right here on the 1-minute chart. I'll use the 1-minute chart. We've been seeing a lot of this where we have, I'm just checking to make sure I hit the record button. Man. Right here. So I'm watching this basically because it hit my scanners and there's really nothing else. It has news. Not great news. This spike wasn't from the news because the news happened earlier. But as it comes up and it comes back down, I'm looking like it came down definitely more than 50% of the move, which, is what it is. But it's holding this 20 EMA, starts to curl back up over here. I saw this happen. I started marking off lines. I'm like, okay, it's a 196, $2. I forget where the 200's at 343. So right there. And then there was some gaps. So I remember seeing, and this is why I was interested in the stock. So there was a gap at like 250 to like 276 right there. And I remember seeing that, and I was thinking, okay, if this can get over like 208, 205, it can just room up to like 236 right there. I don't know if you guys can really see what I'm trying to accomplish here, but if I zoom in, if this is over like $2, then it has room to like 230-ish, 233, and then I marked off like 250. So I had an idea in my head of what I wanted to do here. And these are the types of moves that I have been unable to figure out. So I'm like, okay, let me see if I can figure this out. And so it starts to curl back. It taps this, comes back over here, and I'm like, I think this could go. But I wanted to give it room. I didn't want to just do $2. I'm like, I want to give it like over this. I want to give it like 205, maybe 208. I think is what I was thinking. Which, let me look at this candle, 207. So it would have been like this next candle right here. I was thinking like 208-ish, 205 is actually what I had in my head, 205. So once this candle opened and crossed over, it could just reject like this one did, right? So I didn't want to go right at 196 or right at $2 for the break of, even though I think that would have been the smarter move. I think the smarter move would have been to see like, okay, we're down here. This opens, it's starting to move up. Let's get in here and just make our stop the EMA. I mean, this is a very low risk trade, especially if your risk is if you set your risk at the EMA right there. It's literally riding this EMA, right? And what's the 243 right there? No, that's not it. Sorry. The EMA in this area is like 185. So you get in at like, if you get in right when this turns green before it breaks, $2, you could maybe get in at like 195 and set your stop right below. This was, I kind of wish I would have done this. So it breaks 205 right as it does this. Right in this candle, I get a visitor who sits in my lap. And I almost hit this trade. But I've learned not to do that when I have homie hanging out with me. And I just kind of watched it. So we're hanging out, talking about life. I don't know. We were coloring something. I forget exactly what we were doing. Printing posters, actually. Actually, I'll show you. I'll show you what we were doing. Oh, I moved it. It was like a Pokemon poster he had me print out. So I'm literally in the middle of printing out a poster. And I don't mind this stuff. There'll be other moves, but it was a move I was seriously anticipating. Hits over 205, 206. I'm going to get in, and I'm going to set a stop, and like we're just going to make a play here because I think this is going to go. So then it crosses over right here. It proceeds to go up. I would have taken a profit. I mean, this goes up here and kind of comes down. It would have been, I don't know. I would have probably made 10 cents, 20 cents. Doesn't really matter. But this thing proceeds to go up. I mean, look at this thing throughout the day. I mean, this did a pretty good job, actually. I think it actually did do something else. Yeah, it had some moves all day. It basically made this run in the morning, and then after it came up and came back towards VWAP here, there was some nice trades right around here along VWAP, and then even in AH, it looks like it did a little thing too. So it was one I was interested in, and I wanted to take it. I meant to take the 10-second candle move actually first right there, and I would have been done for the day, to be honest with you. I didn't take that. So, you know what, man? Like, continuation, and here's like my screen here. So there's so this is a trade I took in the sim, just a little test trade I took in the sim. So another no trade day, unfortunately. But these continuation trades, I'm telling you, I am studying these trades. I am focused. I am locked in on these trades, and I'm just watching and I'm learning, and I'm seeing the momentum hit on some of these continuation trades. And like, I'm thinking about where I would get in. I see a lot of areas where they reject, like on some of those curl backs, when they curl back and they hit those pivot points and they just bounce off those pivot points. That's kind of annoying. But like, that's where you got to you either have to anticipate it early or let it cross over, so I'm just trying to like identify where the momentum is, where I'm thinking a squeeze might happen, or where I think it might bust through like a pivot up to the high of day or whatever it is. And I'm learning to see that and feel that, and now I just need to actually take trades on it. And so, but when they're like high, because that's what I normally do is like I'll take a trade, it'll run up a nice leg, it's extended, and that's why I didn't take a trade on FGI initially this morning, was because if you look at FGI, there was a part of me that was like, this is the difference between a trader I am now versus what I was when I started. So I would be very tempted to take trades up in this zone for high of day trades, like when they're breaking this level. Is that high day? Yeah. So, this thing runs up. 7 o'clock does this. Missed that. I missed that dollar move. Missed it, right? I missed this move. This is actually a move to $8 to $8.40. Sure, why not? I mean, sure, could. And then, but I would start trying to figure out how to trade in these zones, and I'm not great in these zones. And I'd hit these topping tails. I'd hit that topping tail. I would be the one that would be like getting just caught up in all these false breakouts. This is my play for the most part. That's my move. And there was a point up here where I'm like, I'm not going to make a move here because I feel like I missed it, and I missed it. Like, look how extended this is past the EMAs. Like, I missed it. And then as it kind of got a little higher, it was almost like outside of my price range. Not really, but I was looking for momentum. Like, I was watching. I saw this one right here. I watched this one happen right here. Where this has some pretty insane volume. What is it, like 800K right there? Goes from 872, goes up, up almost $1. But like, I don't know. These aren't the plays, but I don't know. We're working through it. I'm also recording all of my trades, and I'm recording a lot of these moves so I can go back and take a look and study continuation, study where these squeezes are happening, study the level 2 and the tape. And like, so I can get a feel for like when I might want to go in. So, I mean, I got some options here. I might want to, I think I'm ready to kind of start stepping up to the plate with some of these continuation plays, just in general. I've studied a lot. I've watched a lot. However, I could also either size down and trade more often, but from what I learned in July, trading a lot for me isn't actually super helpful. Could go to the sim and try to, so I'm hitting the button, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm hitting the button here on this continuation Momo move. This is where I would go in, like boom, boom, could do that. What I've noticed with the sim and with a smaller share size than what I'm doing right now is I overtrade, or I'll take trades that I wouldn't normally take just to test. So maybe that's something I have to work through. But I think what I'm going to do is just kind of continue to study, continue to wait, and then eventually start taking some of these trades. Like I'm in the batter's box. I'm just not taking the swings. And I'm going to start taking some of these like momentum trades. Like I want to be a momentum trader. It doesn't have to be really the perfect setup. Like if you've got a 1 minute candle running up $1, like the Momo's there and the setup is there. The tape is moving fast. And the L2's, the ask is like the ask is moving up really fast. The bid's following it. Like there's plenty of opportunities here to take some of these trades on some of these momentum candles. And they just happen to be in conjunction with setups as well that I'm just not really familiar with, but I'm watching them. I'm trying to anticipate the squeezes. I'm trying to get a better understanding so that way I can make some of these moves. Anyway, love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow morning, which is Friday. And maybe we'll get a trade off. See you then.